people who are quietly strong rarely learn strength the easy way. They don't announce it. They don't show it off. But when life gets heavy, they don't collapse. And most of the time, that strength started in childhood, not from being praised, not from being protected, but from learning how to stand on their own early. Quietly strong people often grew up in environments where their emotions weren't fully held. They learned quickly that expressing too much didn't always bring comfort, so they adapted, not by becoming cold, but by becoming self-contained. They learned how to regulate themselves before anyone taught them how. As children, they noticed moods, tension in the room, silences that meant something. Their nervous system became observant. Psychologically, this builds awareness. They learn to read situations, not just words. That's why, as adults, they stay calm when others panic. They've been scanning emotional landscapes their whole life. Another common trait is early responsibility. Not always obvious responsibility. Sometimes it was emotional. They learned to take care of themselves, sometimes even others. So they developed reliability. Not because they wanted control, but because instability forced them to grow up faster. This doesn't mean they didn't need support. It means they learned to survive without expecting it. Quiet strength often comes from learning that no one is coming to rescue you, so you rescue yourself. They also learned patience. When you grow up waiting for attention, safety, understanding, your brain learns how to endure. This creates a high tolerance for discomfort. That's why quietly strong people don't react dramatically. They've already sat with difficult feelings before. They don't avoid pain. They know it passes. Another thing many of them learned early is emotional self-control. Not because emotions were bad, but because expressing them didn't feel safe or useful. So they processed internally. They think deeply. They feel privately. This can look like emotional distance from the outside, but inside there's depth. They don't explode. They don't beg for validation. They've learned how to carry weight without dropping it. But here's the part people misunderstand. Quiet strength is not the absence of sensitivity. It's sensitivity that learned discipline. These people feel deeply. They just don't leak it everywhere. They choose when and where to be open. That's autonomy. Psychologically, this creates resilience. Not the loud kind, the steady kind. The kind that survives storms without needing applause. However, this strength often comes with a cost. Many quietly strong people struggle to ask for help. They're used to handling things alone. They may minimize their own needs. They may feel uncomfortable relying on others. Not because they don't trust, but because independence once felt necessary. This doesn't make them broken. It makes them adapted. The deeper healing for them isn't becoming stronger. It's learning that softness is now safe. That rest is allowed. That support doesn't mean weakness. Quiet strength doesn't need to disappear. It just needs balance. So if this resonates, ask yourself this gently. Am I strong because I choose to be, or because I had to be? And what would it feel like to be supported now? If you're someone who grew strong in silence, who carries depth without noise, and wants to understand yourself more clearly, subscribe for more psychology that helps you grow without losing who you are. Quiet strength is powerful, and when paired with safety, it becomes peace.